to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, waifu. King Teliano, is that you?
Oh yeah, I was just mimicking you. What's up?
This is episode 200 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex and Don'tTalkShop.com. Make sure you go to those websites and support us. Tell them we sent you. And it's also brought to you by our Patreon producers, in which I've had pulled up, but I've replaced it with a million other tabs because we got a big show for you today. Very, very, very big show today. I'm excited to talk about it. But first, let's thank our Patreon producers who've been supporting us for a very long time and producing this and many other episodes of the show. Shout out to Dre, the GOAT G, Johnny from Shogo High, Get the Pro from Chaotic Culture and Shogo High, Explicitly, Monique Williams, Nachi, and Saphir. Thank y'all so much for producing this episode 200 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. This is your seasonal anime podcast that's brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CDT, CST, all of the above. Today's a special episode because it's episode 200. Now we're not going like, what they call that, an extravaganza for 200. We decided to make our extravaganza the big 216.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in honors of where we from, which is Cleveland, Ohio. So we don't live there no more, but we always got to represent it. So 216 is the big episode. So look out for that. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Polo Born Fly, at King Teliano, and at Mic Check Waifu Waifu, or at Mic Check Waifu for both of us. Now, for those of you who've listened to us for a very long time, you guys know what we do was for our new listeners, because from time to time we get an influx of new listeners. We like to do a reintroduction episode. We reintroduce ourselves to y'all so y'all can help better understand who we are, where we came from, why we doing this, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are newer and you're checking out this episode, make sure you check out the previous reintroductions, because each reintroduction episode is very significantly different. There's 4 of them. Well, now there's 5. There's 4 previously to this one that kind of gives you a slight background into us and who we are. This one is a little bit different than our normal reintroductions videos, because what we're doing is we're taking our top 5 episodes, our top 5 most listened episodes, and we're revisiting them. We're touching on them in a way that gives us basically a way to update you on how we feel about what we said in the past, basically. Which I think is gonna be very fun. So
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be definitely a lot of fun. We spent a lot of time getting this together, so we hope you guys enjoy it. But first and foremost, before we do that, we are going to introduce ourselves. Like I said, I'm at Polo Born Fly. I'm a Twitch streamer and podcaster. Been doing this for years. Been streaming since like 2015. Been doing a podcast, obviously, since probably what is that, June 2019? Or something like that. Yeah. Been doing this for a very long time, and this is it. This is what I do. I am an avid video game player. I love video games, preferably RPGs, JRPGs, and the like. And I'm 31 years old, and I'm ready to continue doing this for the rest of my life.
Let's go.
Now I'm gonna introduce you to my brother, Montel, aka at King Teliano.
All right, y'all. I'm King Teliano. I am a husband, father, artist, personal trainer, apparently state traveler. But I'm also 31, ready to do this for the rest of my life as well. I'm I'm tired of working for people. I ain't gonna hold you.
Straight up.
But this is, something I love. I play video games like Polo. My favorite game type is JRPG. I never knew that about him until, we started playing a lot of games together. But JRPG is also my favorite game type. So yeah, this is what it is. It's my brother.
Yes, for sure. Listen, like I said at the beginning of this, we cover seasonal anime. So if you're into keeping up with the seasons of anime, this is the perfect podcast for you. I mean, we go from season to season to season, covering as many shows as we can possibly watch during the season, and kind of discuss them here in great detail. We also take topics that we take from those discussions and talk to them in more in-depth conversation on this podcast as well. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're a recent listener, if you could do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel, rate us on iTunes or the podcasting app is what they call it now. It's no such thing as iTunes anymore. And rate us wherever you listen. So wherever you listen to this podcast on Spotify or wherever, just rate us, leave us 5 stars, and leave us just a nice little comment. We'll greatly appreciate that. And again, subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to build up the YouTube because we kind of had that like a secondary thing for mostly our Patreon supporters. Because if you are a Patreon supporter at $1 or above, you get access to the After Story podcast, which is a bonus conversational podcast, which is an extremely dope podcast that we love to do every week for you guys. That the most recent episode was episode 60 of the After Story podcast. The first topic was parenting and how we felt about how our parents raised us and how can we be a good parent, what makes a good parent, etc. And then the second topic was things we think that is strange that we think most people don't do. Like a quirk, if you will, a quirk, if you will, for example. So, that part is definitely crazy. A lot of strange stuff that we do that I don't think everybody do. So make sure you guys check that episode out. By the time you're hearing this, that episode is up. So if you subscribe to our Patreon, you get access to that plus a backlog of a crap ton of other After Story podcasts, as well as a read along for a Mom What It I'm Doing on there, and a watch along with Till that we're going to get back to soon. So,
and I would like to also say, if y'all find Polo quirky after watching that Patreon episode, message him or tweet him at Mike Check Waifu and let me know. Listen, I want to know who think Polo quirky.
I don't think what I do is that strange. I don't think it's that strange, but apparently it is to a lot of people. So I guess we'll find out when y'all listen to that episode. So check that out. Now, without further ado, I got to figure out how we feeling today, Tel, before we get started.
Oh, wait, I forgot we be talking about how we feeling.
Yeah.
I'm good, bro. I am not sore. And I knew I wasn't going to be sore. And you not sore, huh?
Like, I feel light soreness. It's very manageable. Very manageable soreness.
So, y'all know I've been working out with Polo.
Yeah, it's been great.
And I've been pushing him, bro. I really been pushing Polo. And this last workout, he
fucking crazy, bro.
He complained. he acted like he wasn't gonna be able to do it, and then he get to the end of it, and he like, my arm's about to explode. And then look at him.
I don't feel it. I feel it. Trust me, I feel it. But it's not unmanageable. You know what I mean? Like I can manage the pain that I'm feeling right now. It's definitely there for sure. Like especially in my chest, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Somebody tell this man I know what I'm doing.
It's crazy. Definitely know what he's doing. I talk about it all the time. We definitely know what he's doing.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm excited about this episode. Again, man, I've been addicted to this JRPG. Well, not really a JRPG, more like a CRPG because it's Chinese, and I just can't stop. I can't stop.
This cash RPG you meant.
Man, facts. Big facts, man. I can't put it down, man. It's called Honkai Star Rail. It's fucking addicting.
It's so good, bro.
It's definitely really fucking good, and I can't put it down. Anyway, let me see.
The voice acting is good.
Fire, top notch.
Artwork is good. The music is good.
Gosh, man. Ugh.
The way that the fighting style is set up, good.
Perfect. It's great.
Like, hear me out. I feel like it took a lot of elements from some of the best like JRPGs I've played, and then kind of like meshed them together in a way that doesn't feel bad.
It's
like
incredible, man.
They made them work together so well, like the break system, and then like
Fantastic.
the multiple different elements, but like how they kind of piggyback off of each other and work. It's fire. I love it.
It's great, man. It's almost perfect. The only problem is it's just you just want to spend so much money, and
That's gonna be our first game review.
Well, we did game reviews on After Story, right? Didn't we? I think we did.
Might be trying to get back to respect.
True. Let's do this, man. What was your episode of the week this week as far as anime goes for this current anime season, which is I want to make sure I say it so everybody who's listening to this in the past know what we were referring to, which is spring 2023.
My episode of the week is very easy. Insomniacs Next Door, or not Next Door. That's Galaxy Next Door. Insomniacs After School.
I'm about to say, how you gonna take mine and put it together with yours?
Because I know what you was gonna pick.
Yeah. A Galaxy Next Door is definitely mine. While Demon Slayer was fantastic this week as well, but A Galaxy Next Door is mine. What a great episode.
Super duper dumb fire.
Oh my God, so good. It was so fucking good. It was just
hear me out.
The cutest fucking thing.
Galaxy Next Door is like a mix of the Angel Next Door, right? Like that kind of philosophy that like these characters kind of obviously like each other, but with an
adult twist, man.
An adult twist.
That's what it is.
It gives us everything, like so fast. I love it. I really enjoy this.
So far, so good, man. So far, so good. I think we're gonna have a second half of the show. For those of you that don't know how this podcast works, we break up the podcast into two parts. We break it up into like a song that we bring from my explorations on YouTube and in Spotify, looking for like lo-fi, cool, smooth joints. But we break up the show and we talk spoilers in the second half after that music break, and then before that we just talk about our main topics where there's no spoilers of anime and stuff. So, yeah,
I'm sending Polo a song right now. If he likes it, then y'all know what y'all know. I sent him the break song.
Crazy, because I already had a break song in mind.
No, you gotta at least give mine a try, bro.
All right, I'll listen.
All right, but let's do this. Let's actually talk about some anime for real.
Well, let's do it. So, like I said, we're going to cover our top 5 most listened to episodes. So if you want to listen to these, make sure you go to our website, miccheckwaifu.com. What you can do is you can type in the search bar. You can put the number of the episode and then the name, or just put the number, and it should populate the episode and listen to it, or just search it in your podcasting app of choice. If you want to listen to the full episode, which is past episodes, hopefully you wouldn't need to by listening to this episode, but here we go. Starting at number 5. Okay.
So, number 5 is the Shonen Strength.
So, in that episode, we discussed the strength of Shonen. Because, why exactly, Till, did we do that?
So basically, because there's that Shonen overload, and if it's actually staying consistent, is Shonen getting better? Is Shonen getting better or worse? And I think we got some good thoughts on that. Very, very, very decisive thoughts.
What's funny is that like it's been less of the major shonen stuff coming out in years recent, but when they do hit, they've been great. Outside of a few misses. Obviously, I'm referring to. Sorry for those fans of this show. I know you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but we are a podcast that will discuss the truth in our subjective thoughts, and that's fucking Black Clover. That shit is garbage. It's just bad. Okay, sorry if you like it. Unfortunately, it's not a good show for us.
It's one of my least favorite anime ever. For
sure. It's not a good show. So if you like that show, I'm sorry, but the strength of Shonen outside of that and outside of Boruto. As a Naruto fan, I'm also very disappointed in that shit. We all know what that is. Garbage. It's probably even worse than Black. I would rather watch Black Clover than watch what I've been watching of Boruto.
But would you rather watch JJK? Would you rather watch Fire Force? Would you rather watch Demon Slayer? You know, that's the strength right now in shonen. Shonen has some absolute like
My Hero.
Yeah, My Hero, some genre bending heat coming out. Bleach had a season that just came, and this is all shonen, but it's really coming. Like there's a lot of shonen that's really getting that budget coming to it. So I agree, it's some bad ones out there, but shonen's got some strength behind it.
Very
More
minimal,
so now.
very minimal bad. A lot of good. So, we talked about in that episode. We did talk about what Till just mentioned: Fire Force, Demon Slayer, JJK, in particular the manga, which is also have been fire. I stopped reading after a while because I'm just ready to fucking watch it.
Right.
So that's just kind of where I'm at there. From that previous episode, and I think the new ones that we just got recently, Hell's Paradise, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2023 spring that's going on right now. Absolutely incredible. And I think you touched on something extremely well here. It's genre bending. Hell's Paradise is definitely one of the ones that's genre bending as well. It has some
dark elements to it,
supernatural mystery shit in it. Like it's just very intriguing. And again, the most recent season 6 of My Hero has been nothing, almost perfect. Almost like a 9-fucking-5. It's been that damn good.
And that's wild coming from Polo.
For sure. And because I keep it real. And the previous 2 seasons before 6, 4, and 5 were garbage. They were trash to me. So, and like I said, they had moments. Obviously, I know they had moments. I will say, if 25% of the anime is good, that's an F. Okay.
Yeah, I was say you ain't even rate it like garbage. You gave it like an average rating, but for such a high standing shonen, yes, that is technically a garbage rating for it to be average. So I agree.
Yeah, no, I said it was garbage. I said it only 25% of it was good. I don't know.
I thought you rated like a 6-7.
No, we didn't even rate it. I didn't even rate it proper. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to rate it proper, what's the 25%? You know what I'm saying?
That's big bad.
That's big bad. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Kind of a perfect tailway, as a matter of fact.
You know how I do.
Because the number 4 most listened episode was our Tokyo Revengers review. Not the most recent season of Tokyo Revengers. That is correct, right? I'm right on that?
Yeah, not the most recent.
Okay, yeah, not the most recent season of Tokyo Revengers, but Tokyo Revengers when it first launched. We reviewed that episode. So that was our 4th most listened episode of our entire podcast. Now, instead of rehashing that review, we want to just discuss how we feel about our reviews, man.
Let's pull them up real quick just to have something to actually go off of. But I will tell you, right off the bat, most of our reviews, I gotta say, I'm satisfied with. There is one that I do agree with you on that maybe should be a bit lower
because of where everything else fell.
Yes, but there is a lot of really good stuff that we rated, and I feel like majority of our ratings for the way we set up the system, it just falls into place. It just feels right, bro.
Yes, it feels right. Now, what makes that so cool is that we have a rating system that goes a lot different than any other typical anime review. What we do is we take 5 categories for an anime and we rate those 5 categories. Each of us do on a 20-point scale. So 20-point scale is obviously 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, etc. 5 categories that we review are animation, sound design, pacing, plot, and characters. And we go in depth and talk about what we feel about those particular elements of a show. And then we rate it during that 20-point scale. And then we take those ratings that we each have and we average that out. And then we take our averages and we average that together to give it overall Mic Check Waifu score. So while I could be very high on something, Tel could be very low. Or while Tel could be very high on something, I could be low. And that's just kind of how we balance out what our reviews are and how they become what they are. Because we are 2 different people who have 2 different tastes, even though some of our reviews fell quite similar in our list. But we have a whole list of anime that we reviewed. If you check out miccheckwaifu.com/review, there's a list of some of them. I haven't updated that in years. It's a little bit behind, but you can check out some of those episodes we review, and they're fire. They're all extremely fire. So I think our review scale is something that we are extremely proud of here at Mic Check Waifu Waifu, and it's helped us create a list of anime that is like, I think, right, objectively, not even subjective, even though it is subjective because it's our opinion. But we kind of go deeper. What you think, Till?
I think that if you look at our review scale, right, and this, I know it's one of the things that we kind of had an ambition about, was that like eventually we want to get to the point to where our listeners can also rate things alongside us, right?
Yes.
But when you look at what we reviewed and you listen to us, you know, you will probably get an understanding as to why we rated these things the way that we do. We don't just kind of go off on a whim and do these ratings. Like even Polo himself has a different rating or aspect of the view of that rating. Mm-hmm. So I feel like these reviews, not only are they solid because we balance each other out, but they also really give you insight on what Mic Check Waifu Waifu is about. So yeah, bro, I love our review system. I love our reviews. Like I said, the only one I can understand is, like I said, the B-Stars one, but I feel like because it's rated so high, it's a more of a personal thing.
Do you have the list pulled up?
Yeah, I got it right now.
Let's run through them real quick.
All right,
start from the bottom up.
Our Hall of Shame is Demon Lord Retry with a negative 7.75.
That was a joke episode, but it was fun.
It's actually that bad though. Number 28 is 91 Days with a 6.4. 27 Banana Fish with a 7.3. Remember, that's not bad. Love Flop 26, 7.45, and Love Flops hit us with some good stuff. 25, Dr. Stone with a 7.8. 24, Tokyo Avengers with 7.85. 23, My Hero Academia Season 4, 7.9. Gangsta, 7.95. Chivalry of Fell Knight, 7.95. Bungo Stray Dogs, 8.4. Invincible, our first not anime rating, 8.45. Link Click, 8.45. Darwin's Game, 8.5. Made in Abyss, 8.5. Demon Slayer, what was that? The Entertainment District arc, 8.5. Vox Machina, 8.6. Steins Gate, 8.65. Erased, 8.75. B-Stars, 8.85. Demon Slayer, I don't think that's right.
Mugen Train movie.
Yeah, Mugen Train movie. It says 8.8. Arcane, 9.2. Deserved. Vinland Saga, 9.25. Promise Neverland, Season 1.
Season 1.
Hey, yo, we gotta redo that one. We keeping that one there. But Grimguard 9.3, Fire Force 9.35, My Teen Romantic Comedy Series 9.45, Clannad 9.8, Astro Lost in Space a 10, and Summertime Rendering a 10.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's the reviews, man. Love them or hate them. That's what they at. Make sure you guys check out those episodes. I don't know the exact number of all of them. I'm sure if you find review, it's in there somewhere. So miccheckwaifuwaifu.com, search bar at the top, and just search it there. All right. Moving on to number 3. Our third most listened to episode was what?
Anime Critiques. And in this episode was the One Take Jakes.
Okay. Young Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
That's when we had Platinum In, and Platinum In was also god awful.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Platinum In.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Platinum In was terrible. Terrible. If you like Platinum In, this is the wrong podcast for you. I don't think I know anybody that like Platinum In.
I love my wife, but I think she would like Platinum In, bro.
No, I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
You don't think so?
I 110% know she would hate that fucking show.
She might. I don't know, bro.
I just know it. She would not like that shit. Ain't no way. There's no way you can look at that and be like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And like not think that shit is trash.
Here's the best part about Platinum In, though, is that it leads into that One Take Jake conversation, because that's all it is. It's a one trick pony kind of anime. And it's really just not good.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
This is not to bash Platinum In, but those One Take Jakes, Polo.
Yeah, so the conversation for Platinum In led to us discussing people on the internet with one takes, okay? Because what we do is anytime we say we do not like something, we give a very detailed and in-depth reason as to why we do not like that something. So, for example, okay, in that episode, I talked about AOT and I talked about not not liking the character changes. Yeah, just different motivations, and not even motivations, because the motivation is fine. It's the character changes. It's the evolution of the character and how they regress instead of progressed, right. which is the main reason why I don't care about the show as much as I used to. After reading the full thing, after the ending and everything like that, I can care less about Attack on Titan now. Even though if you go back to the earlier episodes of this podcast, it was probably in my top 10, top 5. So just take that for what it's worth and how disappointed I am with that show. But I digress. One take Jakes are people who can say, for example, because this happened recently this week, how bad Demon Slayer is. They only say it's bad because it's popping. It's popping off right now, and their sales is passing their One Pieces, and people who take anime and make it their personality, or specific anime and make it their personality, who can't stand for anything else to become or to outshine what they love so dearly. Those people can never have takes that aren't just one. It's bad because it's overhyped because it's animation. It's mid because the fucking what they do in the show with their powers, quote unquote, isn't real. Like, no shit, it's an anime for one. And two, like that's what we're referring to when we talk about one take Jakes. How do we feel about them now? Or yeah, you want to touch on something?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, the issue with the one take Jake thing is that if you had a one take, like a one individual outlook on something, but it was extremely well like articulated or defined, right? I can almost let you slide on that one. But the issue with it is, like, most of these people who complain about one thing, they are not looking at, like, they're just trying to nitpick something because, like what Polo said, it's hot, it's hype, it's a trend right now. So when something is a trend, it becomes just as trendy to hate on it. But for what reason? What's the purpose here? And then are you actually giving anything that shows any value in your actual one take on this? So yeah, that's kind of like my outlook on the one take Jake thing. Is like, if you're going to hate something for the most minute reasons, I need you to break it all the way down for me, because then I can understand why you as a person, as an individual, don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So real quick, before we perfectly segue into the next one, I just want to touch on, because something we haven't been doing is naming off the number of the episodes and the name of the episodes to make it easier for y'all to maybe even go back and check these out. So 137 is Shonen Strength. 119 is the Tokyo Revengers review. 123 is Young Metro Boomin. Mm-hmm. And then to segue into the next topic is Side Story. 122 is our second most listened episode that we've ever had, which is huge. It's big. It's big. So, and what's crazy is we were listening before we started this episode. We were listening back to it, and it was just us fucking just shooting the shit. It felt like an After Story episode because we kind of touched on like just a bunch of different video games and shit. But what we're doing is we're taking it. How have our hobbies changed in the time we've been doing this? Now, the reason why I said what you said at the end of the One Take Jakes is how I evolved, how I changed when doing this. Okay, right. Since 123 and 122, those are like back to back. 123 is our third most listened, and 122 is our second most listened. Is the One Take Jakes, and any take on Twitter, I do not give a fuck about. I am so good at just not caring about anything that anybody has to say anymore, because what does it? They don't have, like you said, they don't have any depths to their conversations. Nothing has depth anymore. It's all selective outrage, and they want interactions on Twitter and stuff like that. And that just don't work for me anymore. I used to, when we first started this, I used to have arguments on people about shows, bro.
Right.
I don't do that anymore. I don't. And the good thing about that is I don't need it. We don't need it for content. And that's what makes us, I think, makes us special. I said it. I tooted my own horn a little bit there. So in terms of like what Polo is saying, yeah, my experience with those people have
has dwindled, and those people have now become what seem to be the question women on why they like anime people, and they're even worse at this point. But how I've evolved in a sense with this is that, like, for instance, as a lot of y'all know, I now currently have acquired a new taste for slice of life genre.
Yes.
And I fuck with the shoujo too. I don't know, bro. I just like it in general now. It took me a minute to get into it. But yeah.
I fucking love that. That's huge.
That's part of my evolution in this this anime community, even in like the gaming thing, because like a lot of y'all didn't know, but Polo knew now. I used to play like dating sims before I even met Polo. But it was like that's kind of like the gaming and the anime ingestion and digestion of these mediums. It makes me I don't know, I just enjoy it more, and I can implement some of these things into like just fun parts of my life. My kids, they enjoy some of this stuff too. So, you know. Yeah,
it's dope. Because like I said, Side Story was just a hodgepodge of us talking about hobbies and anime with that covered anxiety and how we felt about it in our real life. It was just, it's a good episode, but it was just kind of like fucking, it would just went everywhere. So I guess that's why people liked it, because we just kind of we shot the shit.
Oh. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts slander and everything.
Warranted? Definitely warranted. Definitely warranted. We'll talk about that some other time.
Right there.
No, it's not, because I have valid reasons why that shit is stupid. But I digress. Listen, the way I've changed since we've been doing this is, seriously, I have a hard time, like, for a story to captivate me, it has to have extremely engaging characters, and characters being probably more important than even the world itself. Because if the characters aren't interesting, I cannot care about the world. And if I can, if I can't care about the world, then I'm not going to care about the anime. So I think it's very important for the characters to be likable in any way. For example, one that I'm watching now, to put it into modern times, spring 2023. Dangerous in My Heart. The two main characters that the show revolves around are fantastic, and even the friends of the girl main character is fantastic. But the other male characters in the show makes it so hard to watch that is fucking up my enjoyment of this otherwise fantastic show, fantastic story. And it drives me crazy because, you know, for example, I'm gonna just give you a slight spoiler, but the perversion of a young adolescent middle schooler, right? That exists. It exists. We know it exists. But when they depict it in the show of just this guy who's coming to terms with himself, with understanding that he might like this girl that he feel like he shouldn't, it's annoying, you know, and it's, again, ruining my enjoyment, especially with the most recent episode. So I evolve with understanding that I love great characterization in anime, and that's kind of like more important than anything else,
you know. And hear me out with that, right? That's almost like, what we call it, a Polo way.
Yes. Polo way.
So our most watched episode, most listened episode, sorry. Possibly most watched.
That's a fact, because it is on YouTube. YouTube.com/@MikeCheckWaifu.
And what was the title of that one, my brother?
125 Anime for Noobs. We gave suggestions on what we feel is great anime for newbies to pick up and watch.
And while I don't necessarily think we should give any suggestions today, hear me out.
Okay.
You want to give a suggestion? Do you want to give a suggestion?
Yes.
All right, well, hear me out. I want to hear, more than I want a suggestion, I want to hear how you go about suggesting anime to people now. Now that we've ingested clearly most likely over 1,000 anime, we've read manga to basically or virtually completion. We have been in this game for more than half our lives when it comes to anime. How has ingesting so much anime, you know, changed how you actually recommend it to somebody?
You know, that's a great question, because something happened recently, within this year, I believe 2023, yes, where Michael B. Jordan recommended anime to people, new anime. There was a big conversation on Twitter and on the internet. And
was it Naruto?
Yes, actually, one of the shows was Naruto, or in Michael B. Jordan terms. But he recommended One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, and that was his recommendations for anime noobs. For anime noobs, where should they start? Where should they go? And I vehemently disagree with those. While those are, he said Dragon Ball Z too. While those are pivotal for the anime world and great for when we were kids and coming up on anime, it is not a great way to start anime for noobs. And
exactly.
To answer your question, with the way this kind of changed the way I would recommend something for somebody is understanding what stories can captivate people. I know you're gonna hear people say the age old tale of, well, I have to understand what they like to watch. Do they like action? Do they like comedy? Do they like blah blah blah? No. Yes, you can figure that out. You can recommend anything to anybody if you know those particular genres. But I think just recommending something that you feel can captivate anyone, not just someone who's a fan of a particular genre, who can captivate anyone, is more important than just a specific genre. So that's why I say, whenever I'm recommending something, I want something to captivate them, no matter what style of TV they watch. Because if I'm watching something, if I'm recommending something specifically tailored to their genre, what's going to happen is they're going to compare it to something that they love that's in that particular genre, which you cannot do. You cannot compare. That's the mistake that I think everybody makes. You cannot compare anime to TV in any possible way. No way. You can't compare it to movies. It doesn't compare to anything. That's what makes anime so special. And that's how I would recommend.
Yeah. So I guess in my perspective, how I look at it is kind of like this. There's kind of two ways that I would recommend something. One is, and I mean, I feel like both of these are extremely basic, but this is just more or less how I would recommend it. One is kind of like what Polo said. Give them something that I think captivates people, right? This is something that is just overall good. And I would almost even say if it's objectively good, then, you just recommend it. And nothing in this medium is technically objective, but something that's just, if it's blown out the water and it's amazing, then recommend that. Don't have to be necessarily mainstream or anything. And then the other one is like to let someone get to know you, right? Like that's how I got my wife into anime. I showed her something that I thought that I just really, really liked, and she ended up liking it too. Then I was able to get into stuff that she actually liked as anime. Because me recommending something that I liked to her got her into it, and now she can just watch whatever she wants. So that's kind of how I will go at it. Is I do want to know what someone likes, because then it's easier for me to go and like say, boom, this is kind of where you want to go. But you got to also know if that person want to know you, if they're a friend, your friends know you. So give them something that just makes them know you a little bit better. That's not a bad way to recommend, because now they can relate to you and see how you like it. And now they're going to bring the conversation back to you. Now y'all talking about anime. And that's a whole nother part of the recommendation that has made that anime so much better, because y'all relate now. Yeah,
sure. Yeah. Like I said, if you could find something that you feel like can captivate anyone, then that'd be a great way to get somebody's fucking foot in the door. Like again, you can like only reality TV, but if I recommend you something slice of life, then that's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's not the same. And what you're gonna do is because I told him I like reality TV, he's recommending me this particular show, and I'm watching the show, and it's not like reality TV at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like where I am when it comes to the genre discussion, because the genre discussion will lead for that person to start to compare their genre to anime, which is something completely different. And the closest thing to reality TV is slice of life, even though they're nothing alike.
Right. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of that question. You ready?
What will I recommend? Something that I feel like that'll captivate somebody. Now, where I'm gonna go with this is something easy to understand. Okay, pretty to look at, and very engaging. Now, stick with me on this one. Grimgar.
I knew you was gonna say that. Yo, I don't know how I knew. I knew you were gonna say Grimgar today. I knew Grimgar was in your head today. I knew.
Because you think about it. Is that not easy to understand? Because they got amnesia and they just wake up. It just wake up. What's going on here? They fucking suck. Okay? In this world. I feel like it's easy to understand. Very emotional story. Now hear me out. This is where I'm going with this. The fucking dub. When I tell you this is probably one of the most incredible dubs there is. Also a way to get somebody in it because that did captivate them emotionally. Bro, it's easy. I think Grimgar is a great fucking show for a new anime watcher.
I hate Polo so much.
Hey, it is what it is.
I knew he. I literally knew he was gonna go for Grimgar, but that's cool. That's cool.
It makes sense. It makes sense though.
It is. It's a really good choice. So and hear me out. This is one of my current recommendations. Absolutely love this anime. Rewatched it not too long ago. Actually, I think it was the end of last year. I rewatched it and dubbed. Remake Our Life. I absolutely love this anime. I think that majority of the people that I talk to in general, it doesn't even have to be necessarily relatable. It's just good. It's just a story. It's just something to sit there and digest, and it's beautiful, and the characters are amazing.
I'm gonna just here. Let me just critique your.
Go ahead.
I think Remake Our Life is obviously, you already know. I feel it was my sleeper that year that it came out. It was a fantastic show. I think it's a little bit too convoluted for somebody new.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
That's perfectly fine. I understand, but I think that with and it kind of goes with what you said, with all the media that people already ingest, I don't think it's actually that hard to get into. It's almost like saying
because the problem,
can't recommend Vivi Fluorite to somebody who watched Terminator.
No, you definitely can't. It can. The thing is because it's just what happens in Remake is just like
that you saying too much. What if they want to watch it? You're
right. But yeah, you're right. Because it's tough to talk about without because it just happens. You know what I mean? And for something that just happened, that I think that'll throw somebody for a loop a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm prejudging the frontal cortex of non-anime watchers. I guess I don't know. Whatever I'm doing, I should leave the judging to Judy.
Yes, he coined that quote. I think
there's
no one take Jake. That's all Polo.
There's one more. There's one more I would recommend too.
Let's do that.
Just one more.
I know what you about.
Golden Time. You do not. That can fucking. It's an emotional roller coaster because, and it's closer to like more real life too because it's a slice of life. With like fucking a notebook aesthetic, you know what I mean? Kind of like this romance that's fucking kind of messy. You know what I mean? It's kind of messy. Not kind of. It's messy. It can get messy. College students. I
remember you recommending this one. The way you talked about it was amazing.
It's one of my top 10 for sure. It's a fantastic fucking show. It's almost perfect. Probably is perfect. I think you should watch Golden Time because I know you haven't seen it yet.
Good. Polo just be adding stuff to my list, y'all.
I cried.
I'm not crying on anime ever again.
You will.
It's already messed up my life as it is.
And that's our top 5 episodes. And I will say this, okay? Our 125 Anime for Noobs episode has almost 10,000 more listens than everything else.
You said 10,000 more listens?
It almost has 10,000 more listens. It's like 500 off 10,000 more listens than our next episode. Crazy that episode. That episode went stupid. So thank y'all so much for that. That was fun, man. That was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I definitely hope y'all enjoyed that. What are we spoiling in the second half of the show, Till?
Galaxy Next Door. Hell's Paradise.
And Demon Slayer.
There you go. We there.
All right. When we come back, we're going to spoil those 3 shows from the spring 2023. Let me just make it easier for y'all as well, because what we like to do is we like to tell y'all what number episode we're spoiling. So if you haven't watched that episode yet, you can come back and listen to this episode after you've consumed those episodes. So we're spoiling episode 4 of Demon Slayer, episode 5 of Hell's Paradise, and episode 4 of A Galaxy Next Door. So make sure you guys stick around if you watch those episodes, and we'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 200 of Mic Check Waifu. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. ReIntroduction 5 or ReVisiting. ReIntroduction. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. We truly appreciate y'all. For those veterans who just sat through that trip down memory lane, we appreciate y'all. I hope y'all found that as fun as we did, because that shit was a good time. I'm so happy. Now, we are going to spoil episode 4 of Demon Slayer, or starting off with episode 4 of Demon Slayer. Dale, how you feel about episode 4 of Demon Slayer, man?
I feel like I was right about Miss Dude. He has amnesia.
Mm-hmm. You read it.
What?
You probably read it.
I didn't though. I legit did.
I believe. I'm just talking shit.
Okay. But I was telling Polo, like, I don't think this is just him. I think he actually lost his mind.
They had to touch on that at some point.
But they didn't though, because the way they introduced him, he just seemed like he didn't care. Remember when we first met all the Hashira? Mm-hmm. He didn't care. He was nonchalant in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, he still is, but this it kind of sealed that information in that yes, he's trying to regain his memories, and I'm trying not to. It's a quote I saw. You trying to basically give more emphasis to something that's shallow just makes it worse. So I was trying not to overlook into like what he's supposed to be. I think he just probably caught an L because he was always that
prodigy,
caught an L, lost what it is, but he's trying to regain it. I think it's dope to see what he did. I'm ready for him to come back though, because I feel like they really gonna need his help. Because old boy keep getting stabbed all the way up, bro.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So you know what Genya remind me of?
Inosuke?
No.
What?
Dog, this is crazy. My fucking memory cannot be this bad.
A demon? Because he acting like a demon.
No. Yeah, you're right about that. But it was a show from last season.
What show?
The Exorcist show.
Oh, the world's strongest exorcist?
Yes, he reminds me of that exorcist with a chance. I feel like that chanting is from some religious thing that revolves around that particular way of life. When it was, because he has the haircut, like he has the monk style haircut. So I think it's kind of revolving around that particular aspect of religion. Right.
And the demons did say, you're praying at a time like this, how devout are you? Because he said it's some kind of sutra.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Yep, exactly. So I'm thinking it has something to do along those lines of religiousness, if you will.
Yeah.
Which made him a much more interesting character than he was the first season we saw him.
Because I thought he was going to be Inosuke Senior.
Right.
I thought he was going to be somebody I did not care about. Because one, why he got a gun. And I'm not trying. I don't know what, but
it's that time, man. It's that
something about him having a gun initially was like it turned me off to his character.
Oh, okay, I see.
Why he got a gun? I almost felt like something like a bow or something would have made more sense, but
not in this era.
Yeah, I understand the era though, like because of what it is, but him pulling out the gun and kind of doing what he did, and then me watching his character developed, I grew into like liking the duality of his character almost.
Yeah, this is the era where they wanted to remove themselves from that bow. Like the bows was like they were done with that shit. So it was all about the muskets and fucking ball bearing guns and shit because it was introduced
more efficient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were trying their best to be more efficient. Exactly right. So yeah, like when Rob J was fucking tweaking him, he said, "Well, they had guns in this era because it's like it's past the era y'all thinking of basically."
No, I know what era it is because they
had steam engines. Like it's the train. Like that alone tells you what era this is in.
Guns, you know what I mean? Like they not like they guns that don't take a minute to reload. But
exactly.
He's a Hashira. He can take his time.
He's not a Hashira.
The dude, he not Hashira.
Genya was in the training with Tanjiro. He was in that Training Forest episode in season 1.
Am I allowed to look up if he's Hashira? Because I feel like he's a Hashira.
Yes, you are, and he's not. He was with you because you remember he when they was done with their training, he reached out to that one girl, and that's when Tanjiro grabbed his arm and knocked his fucking tooth out or something like that. because he was one of the ones that survived. It was him, Zenitsu, Tanjiro, and they came out of the forest together.
You're right. He's not a Hashira.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll never forget his fucking bald head and how fucking pissed he made me because he put his hands on a girl. Like he grabbed that little girl's hair, and that pissed me off so bad. I never forgot him.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, but he's fire, man.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's a way more interesting character now, you know, since that particular episode. But
yeah, bro is a whole menace when it came to how he was dealing with them, because how he gets stabbed in the chest,
vitals.
Yeah, it looked like he got stabbed in like right by the solar plexus, right?
Yep.
That should be cause for no longer breathing. You should be dead, right?
Your fucking heart, bro. Your heart is right there.
he should not be able to breathe.
Done.
Because technically the heart is a little. It's
That's
like right
bro.
above
It was he got stabbed by a trident. It was right in that shit. It had the three point. It hit that shit.
Yeah, he should not have been able to do that. But him getting up like that, I was like, oh no, bro is a monster.
Yeah, he started chanting. That's what I'm saying. Like that's some resurrection kind of shit, you know?
What do you think it is? Do you think that the gods or whatever like revitalize him? Are they healing him? Like, what is it?
I think he's dead.
Is it all like Cap?
I think he's dead.
You think he already dead?
I think he's gone. But it's a different. This is me speculating. I have no fucking idea. I didn't read Demon Slayer, so this is all just pure he say bullshit. I think he's dead, but something about that mantra or that shit he's spewing is giving him what I would call adrenaline that's unhuman. Like,
oh, you think that they already killed him with that stab?
Yep. And he just and that chant is him adrenaline and fucking just moving on off pure instinct, I guess. He's still talking and shit, but that's the only explanation I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was trying to give him credit at first because I thought he was a Hashira, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that, yeah, he should be able to take that, you know, with the breathing techniques and, you know, them being able to close up wounds and stuff. Cause we've seen them walk away from what seemed like much more mortal wounds. Right. But yeah, if bro not a Hashira, he probably about to be wrapped up in a bag, put a bow on that boy in a minute.
For sure. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about? So, what do you think about Tanjiro finding out more or less the weakness, the disability of the demon?
I was about to say weakness because that shit is just a slight slowdown, and it ain't even that for one of them.
I mean, but he did kind of almost fully slow one down because he cut it up into pieces, so the pieces couldn't come back. So now he kind of has the idea in his mind of how to get rid of it.
Now I was thinking of the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the tongue thing is what was needed to kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you gotta dice these demons like potatoes, not potatoes, like onions. Mm-hmm. You know, just keep cutting them up smaller and smaller pieces until they can't come back. And as you cut them eventually, because like you saw, he cut the one and he didn't even see it disappear. It just disappeared off his sword. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that after you get them down to small enough sizes, then you can actually slash them and get rid of them. But it's 4 of them you got to cut into 10 pieces.
I interpreted that as it went back to its host, which is the big bird. You know what I mean? That's just how I interpreted it. But you could be right. It could have just disintegrated. But usually when they disintegrate, they show that. You know what I mean? Like with the fish.
Well, I think that was the whole point in them probably not showing us though, right? Mm-hmm. Because they don't want us to necessarily know what happened. But I don't know.
That could be true too. Yeah.
I do think that that's the key, but it might be another part to it still, because you know they still got 4 demons that they got to fight, and hopefully they gonna have the backup of 2 Hashira.
Well, you got the jar dude, so the Mist is gonna be fighting him, and then you got our girl.
Hashira.
Oh, God, I love her so much. I love her so much.
Why you love her?
She just, I don't know. She's just adorable.
The hair.
Yeah, it's her design, man. Her design is so adorable. I love it. I just love it.
It's the personality.
And funny enough, I don't even think about that when I see her. I just find her to be so cute. You know what I mean? But she do got nice personalities too. Yes, indeed. They're delicious and degracious. So I don't even know what the fuck degracious mean. I just made that up. Listen, it's a great episode. I love how they're getting into the shit early. I love the fact that it's only 11 episodes, even though it's only like it makes me sad at the same time. But the pacing is just moving. You know what I mean? We moving.
But the beauty of it being only 11 episodes, I feel like they brought Demon Slayer back more consistently.
Yes.
I mean, because after that first season, it felt like it got so hyped that it took them significantly longer to bring it back to us. They gave us a movie and then they gave us an actual, but that's part of the fact that it got so much hype, right? Because when they put out Demon Slayer, they thought it was going to be good. They didn't know it was going to be like this. You know what I mean? So they had to get situated and say, all right, we got to prepare for this road we about to take. Because it's almost like, imagine like the big three. They didn't know the big three was going to be the big three. And then once it became the big three, it's like, okay, this is what we got to do, y'all. Get ready for this. So that's kind of where Demon Slayer is right now. They got past that part already. I mean, they had to get to that point after that first season, like say, all right, we got to do this. But that's why I like this 11 episode format they on right now, because we can get through it, and then in a couple seasons we back with some more Demon Slayer.
Yeah, but it was already ufotable out before even more ufotable. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. I think it was already set to be something spectacular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that like it didn't necessarily blow up.
I see.
And then like the manga sales didn't go crazy until like halfway through Demon Slayer. You know, once we was like, we gotta talk about this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's when it blew up. Manga sales went through the roof. They beat One Piece and, you know, that kind of stuff. That's when they knew they really, really like, yeah, because Ufotable, they did Fate, but Fate ain't been as popping as it has been in years. So, you know, I'm saying like they really got something major on their hands and say, oh, that's it's almost like reorganizing your company. That's what I'm saying. Like they had to reorganize things and say, let's get this foundation right before we keep coming back to this. Because that's why they ain't dropped the ball on animation yet.
Not
like
once.
There's goofy moments, yes. That if you want to call it a drop ball, but that's intentional. What I'm saying is like they ain't actually dropped the ball on animation yet.
Right. It's spectacular, man. I don't fucking hate is stupid. One take Jace is.
I don't know, man. That fish was pretty bad, bro. It was like, are you for that?
Cap. That's the craziest part. This shit looked amazing, man.
It was the shiniest, ugliest fish I've ever seen in my life.
He's, for those of you that don't know, he's being sarcastic.
No, that fish was come on, bro. Hear me out. For the people who had a problem with that CGI fish, that was some of the best animated CGI I've like ever seen. Like, let's be real, bro. Like, because it's a demon fish. If that was the same quality CGI that you would get in real life, that was almost like you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference in deepfake almost.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Good that CGI technically was. Like that CGI, it
still had the dark shade lines that the art style that Demon Slayer follows. It was fantastic. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
The texture of it fit for the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the movement of it didn't seem out of place. The only thing that you could slightly tell it was CGI was because of like the outside of it, because of the slight differences in the dark CGI 3D. But realistically, that's it. It looked amazing.
It was flawless. I don't know. I don't get it. But whatever. Who cares? Whatever one thing Jake got to say about that matters not at all. It matters very little. Because guess what? The show is still successful. I fucking love it, man. It's great.
Yeah, it was your gut check. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love how Shira's gonna come in and pop the fuck off with these little baby fish. She gonna clean house.
You think she gonna go to the Mist Hashira first, help him out?
Yeah.
And then bring him back up?
Yeah, because I only say that because the fucking intro. The intro had her fighting a jar. So what I think is gonna happen is she's gonna clean up the fishies, meet with the Miss Hashira. The Miss Hashira, the sword guy, the little sword kid, and the Love Hashira, they're gonna be there dealing with that. The dude with Tanjiro's new sword is gonna go to the Miss Hashira or to the little kid and say, take this to Tanjiro. And then he's gonna get the sword, and the kid gonna be like, hey, Miss Hashira, can you take me to Tanjiro? And he's gonna run to Tanjiro with the Miss Hashira, and they're gonna toss him the sword, and then fucking Tanjiro's gonna pop the fuck off.
So yeah, I agree with some of that. Ironically, I think that she actually gonna go to she probably gonna clean up the fish, yeah. But I think she's gonna end up going to protect the dude, what's his name, Hanaguchi or something like that. Whoever it is who has Tanjiro's sword. I think she's gonna go protect him first.
Okay, I like
and
that.
The only reason I say that is because
but I think that's where the Mist is going, right?
He's heading to the battle.
No,
because he said he wasn't trying to save the people, but he stopped because of the dude. And it might be where he's going. You're right.
That's exactly where he's going.
The little kid did say he can't be stopped. He can't stop refining the sword right now.
Exactly.
So maybe they switch. Maybe that's what happens. He go there and she do that, or maybe. But that's kind of where I'm thinking. One of them is gonna go protect him while he's finished forging and re-sharpening the blade.
I forgot about that part, so that just kind of changed my whole story up. But, I mean, virtually the same, but you get what I'm saying.
I think that maybe they will take out the pot fish dude first, and then head to help Tanjiro. I think Tanjiro and Genya is gonna be struggling for a minute, bro.
So which one? I think the pot is higher than the personalities, right? The pot I think is higher rank.
No. The pot is number 5.
You're right.
Yeah, the pot is number 5, and then the personalities is number 4.
You're right.
Because I remember that was the crying one.
Mm-hmm.
And then dude who always want to fight is number 3.
Yep, you're probably spot on then.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I think. That's what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna take out 5 first, and they're gonna have to deal with 4.
Dope. Yeah, because 4 is a fucking pain in the dick.
All of it.
Dope, man. Dope. I love that. All right, man. Moving on.
Hell's Paradise. All right, bro. This is an amazing episode. They ain't dropped a ball. All right, my bad. I'm just.
No, you're right. You're right.
Episode 5 of Hell's Paradise. So hear me out with Hell's Paradise. There are characters that I inherently like from this anime. And there are the characters that they plant in for you to intentionally dislike. And I feel like Buddy got dismembered at the right point.
Who got dismembered?
It was the last second. You don't remember?
Did I miss it? Did I skip it?
Big dude came through with the hand, was like,
yes.
Smack.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the very end. I'm just saying that, like,
I forgot about that fast. You're right.
There's a lot of importance in the development of the characters in this anime, right? This is a battle shonen anime, but this is why we talked about that that genre bending before.
Yes.
Because this is not just about battle. This is not just about fighting.
There's so much character pieces.
Yeah, there's so much depth to the fact that Gabimaru has changed from even the first and second episode to this point, and that is recognizable even to like the samurai and the shogunate. That his character is both like wildly strong and unruly, yet calmed and not intending to hurt anyone unless being threatened, right? And I love that. I love that the character has that sense of duality, and I feel like I keep saying that word in this episode, but I love that he has that sense of duality for his own personal growth. And it even showed it had given us a chance to even see the growth of what's her name? Shiori? Her name's not Shiori. Sagiri.
Yep.
It gives us a moment to see her growth as well, because his resolve strengthened hers.
Straight up.
I love that, because those are just two characters that get to build off of each other.
And by her inadvertently strengthening Gabimaru recognizes her strength and understands that she is very strong, stronger than, like he said, stronger than me. You're stronger than me. And it's not through, and he kind of listed off the ways she could be stronger in this. And he said, even through personal strength. And I thought he said he's never wrong about that too. And he's never wrong about that. I think it's so captivating how they just fucking drop these little nuggets. And then we get to switch to this other character, this little girl or guy you thought at first. Yeah, guy you thought at first.
I knew it was a girl. I knew it was a girl.
Yeah, me too, actually. I did too. It was okay. It was quite obvious, but they try to do that little that switch. But it's very interesting, man, because it's like the Shogunate is just, that whole era of the Shogunates in general was just fucked up in Japan. Like it just was awful because they consider this random village who literally minding their own business insurrectionists because they would not fall under the rule of the Shogunate. And that's exactly how it used to be when it came to that kind of shit.
Imperialism.
Mm-hmm. And it's awful because this girl does not belong with these criminals. You know what I mean? Or at least we don't know that yet. She don't. She definitely don't.
Nah, she probably a demon for.
She probably is a demon, but she don't belong with them.
How you know?
She didn't kill anybody. She just brought.
No.
We do, because they showed us her story. She was brought. She brought the samurai to her little village, and they decided to kill them all. And
they probably blamed her for the deaths of everybody in that village.
Possibly, yeah, you're probably right. But I just hope we get to see more of that. I'm liking the two halves, but I really want to see what goes on with our main group of people. While that's probably the only gripe I have about this episode is the swapping between the other characters, which I understand it's important because I got a feeling that they're all going to converge eventually, and it's going to lead to you seeing these different people clash and how you feel about their moralities and how they clash and why they clash. But I think I would like it better if we just was sticking with our Gabimaru crew.
Yeah. And I what I really want to see is I like I said, I do want to see them all finally get to that point to work together. These other characters haven't been like horrible for me. Not in almost any sense of the word, because I feel like the characters that are intended for you to dislike are placed there properly for that reason. So they really gel well with the show. But what I want to see is I really just want to see the island more, bro. And like when they give that lore and they talked about the same things that we said.
Yes.
It was like we watched it was like, but bro, did you see that? Like they might be gods, but like their bodies ain't right. They got insect heads. They talked about all that in this episode. It was like we already talked about that, and it's like I'm happy that they're getting to see it. Because realistically, this is them in real time. We got more time to digest it than they technically would have if this is real life. But it's like,
you want to know what my favorite part of this entire episode was, though?
What was it?
The Konoichi, when she said, "Are we already dead?"
Right.
Because them traveling through the mists, it could just be, and we talked about this last week. It could just be them already dead, and this is hell, you know. And I don't know, man. It's just so intriguing. In every aspect of the show is intriguing.
No, you know what would be wilder?
What?
And hear me out. Hear me out. Not Deontay Wilder.
You did catch that. That's crazy.
What would be even wilder is the reason that the shogunates all wear white and red is because it shows that they are separate from the island, right? Like they could be essentially, to the viewers or to the people who are in hell, they're viewed as the angels of judgment, or so to speak, you know? So that because they are there strictly for their judgment, that's what they are. And you can't come from hell without an angel. That's why you got to have a partner. You can't come back by yourself. You got to come back with a partner. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey,
But if we in 2 episodes, they start talking about this.
It's fun to speculate, you know. It's fun to gut check. Those are always so much fun.
Man, this anime creates so much intrigue and creates so many questions.
Yes, that's what makes it special. Oh, so good, so good. Last but not least,
definitely not least,
making our way to the galaxy next door, bro. Shit, man. This is episode 4. Yes, episode 4 of A Galaxy Next Door, of this beautiful, beautiful fucking show, man. I love everything about it, man. I was so heated when he was rejecting her, bro. So heated. I was so mad. Like, what are you doing? I knew it could have been the right thing to do. It probably might have been the right thing to do. But she's like, no, don't stop. You're hurting yourself. It was just, it was so intense, man. I don't know. What a great slice of life. I don't know where to even start with this one.
We can start at the beginning. We can start at the beginning, closer to the middle, where basically she was hanging out with the kids.
That's definitely towards the end, but
when she tears the car.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when they were doing the whole fortune telling thing. Yeah.
So she at the beginning she was doing the fortune telling thing.
Yeah,
but she ripped the card on accident, and she's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." And it's like,
she definitely didn't do that. She felt like shit. What do you mean?
I'm saying the little girl.
Oh, the little girl was. I'm tripping. You're right. Yeah, you can tell she was hurt though.
Felt like shit. Yeah, she was definitely like, I can't believe I did this. But like the little girl said, it's not a big deal. It was held together by tape in the first place. And our main character is like, oh yeah, I'm done with my work for the day. And I love that, right? Because it shows what kind of caring person he is.
He's such a good dude.
He's an amazing dude, right? And it just goes into showing, like, I feel like that was a preface for what we were supposed to expect at the end, because he's not a guy who just doesn't put thought into anything. Right. And they keep demonstrating that he put thought into what he was told over the phone about how he should produce his anime or his manga, right? Mm-hmm. He put thought into that. He sat down and he was literally just like, all right, man, I know what I was told, but I can't work on it right now. Because there's too much thought to go into it, and he's already putting so much thought into everything. And as we go through this episode, and like we get to that point that, you know, you gave us that emphasis on, he gets to that point, and I feel like I almost like read through it, right? I feel like I saw through this moment. I was like, this is obvious. He about to tell her, I love you too. And it was only because of hear me out. I could have literally just been like, that's just what I want. I could have literally just did that.
Yeah, you were projecting.
I could have just been like, I want him to just say, I love you too. All of that mayhem. But it's like, you look at all of that buildup that he did, right? Even in the before episode when they were talking about comparisons and stuff like that, all of the buildup for his character is a very, like I said, a very introspective, he doesn't really seem to sugarcoat much.
Right.
If anything, right? When he tells her something, it's very direct because he doesn't want to hurt her. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He just wants to live a good life and do his own thing, right?
Take care of his brother and sister.
And I even like when I talked about him thinking over about the manga, he kind of wants to do it in his own way, even though he sees what's like more lucrative in a sense, right? But yeah, bro, I love this anime too. I ain't gonna hold you. I love this. There's so many small details for me that just feel like real life.
You know what captivated me the most?
What was it?
Her reaction.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. It was just the cutest fucking thing ever. She was just like, my heart is so full. Like, it was just fucking adorable that I couldn't take the emotions that
the blush.
Yes, the blush is so good. It was so powerful in the way she was sitting in her room, like even before that, like where she was sitting in her room just drawing and fantasizing about her understanding that she loves him.
And
good.
And even before that, when she was talking about, dang, I could have savored that moment more. I could have savored that moment more. I could have dwelled in that moment more.
Man.
But meanwhile, her face is she face down on the table, blushing, and dude got a rash all the way up his face because she was so hurt.
She was hurt.
She was hurting. And meanwhile, I was trying to tell you he love you, girl. He love you. I'm going to say I was projecting, but I thought, because of the show is so early in the show, that there was no way that was going to be what he did. I thought he was going to go the slow route and kind of work and build it up there. That's what I thought, and it was fucking destroying me. I'm like, dude, stop, man. No, tell her, blah, blah, blah. I was in it. I was invested. I was captivated. It was good. Bro was like, hey, yo, hear me out. You over here looking good.
Mm-mm. He did not.
I know that's not what he said.
It wasn't even like close. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What I'm saying, okay, all right, I'm done playing. He was like, even though I don't think this is right, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that I had to form a pact with. I don't think this is natural.
You spitting?
This ain't. I don't know about all this, but I am in love with you. Do you want to go out? You want to go out with me?
Yeah. Having immunization when I have my brother and my sister that I want to focus on. I want them to be my focus.
Right.
That was very important, and it's killer, man. It's definitely killer.
And like I said before, just to bring it back full circle, he is such a well thought out character. Perfect. / in his life, he's such a well thought out person. He thinks everything through. Mm-hmm. That this just felt like another well thought out thing. And even let's even say this, he thought about it and he's doing it. And let's say it's out of character where it's not a well thought out thing. It just shows more development for him.
Absolutely. Growth and something he's never experienced before.
What's up with these doors, bro? We got the Angel Next Door, the Galaxy. Or is this doors that make anime good?
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is, but it's spectacular. Gut check. I don't know. I don't know where we go.
Checks were wrong.
Huh?
I think both our gut checks were wrong.
Yeah, 100%. And I can't wait to see what it's like. This is just a natural progression. Now we just sit back and relax and see where this goes. Is it going to get messy? Is it going to be where is it going to go? Is it just going to be a pleasant? Is it going to be Tony Kawa over the moon? You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be pleasant. I can't even see it being bad.
Me either. All right, but I'm at Polo Borflow on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
And you can follow our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mic Check Waifu on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, Mic Check.
Wait, where am I not King Taliano at? My business page? Get locked in?
Instagram.
It's still King Taliano?
Mm-mm.
What you mean?
When you go, it's Taliano Show.
No, it's not.
I'm stopping recording. Bye.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu.